Hey everybody, it's Holly from Visit Brainerd, and I'm really excited today because it is first of all, it's a beautiful day, and I'm here at a local new attraction. We are at the Gravel Pit Golf Course. I'm here with Chuck Klecatsky. Did I say it right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a tough name to remember. We just met a couple of days ago. Actually, I was out here golfing with my husband and a couple of friends, just because we were on vacation and we wanted to check this place out. I talked with Chuck and I said, we need to do an interview, so here we are. Can you just tell us a little bit about this golf course? It is something that is super cool, unique for sure, and we just kind of want to know, what's your story?
Well, we are happy to have you at the Gravel Pit Golf Experience,
so fun
we
out
like
here.
to say. It's a unique facility, and it came to be because Nathan Toomey and his family owned and operated this gravel pit that's right behind us, and they live around the property, and they were sort of tired of digging a bigger hole, if you will, and they didn't want to live next to this big hole, because ultimately at the end of a gravel pit, that's what you're left with.
Right.
And so Sam, their son, told his dad, he's like, Dad, we should build a golf course on that property. It's a pretty cool site. And Nathan immediately was like, no, we have our businesses. They own Gull Lake Glass and the
Right.
lock shop,
Yep.
and that. And so they were like, he wasn't interested in it. He doesn't play golf. And but then he was on planning and zoning in East Gull Lake with Scott Hoffmann. And Scott came and looked at the property and said, Nathan, you've got a really cool piece of property. There's a lot of elevation changes and stuff because of the banks of the gravel pit and such. And Scott's like, we could do an extreme golf course here. And Nathan,
So glad you called it that, because it is.
yeah, you played it. I mean, it's there's a lot going on out there.
Yes.
There's woods and water and wetlands and huge greens. But Nathan and his family decided that they were going to build the golf course, and they were looking for a partner to operate the business. And that's how myself and his family got together. And
I think it's really kind of cool that he's not a golfer, didn't want to do it, and then you guys partnered together, ended up with this really cool thing.
yeah, it's it was really cool to have Scott Hoffmann, the designer. He designed the classic over at Madden's.
How long ago did this start? What was the planning process?
Just about a year. I mean, honestly, maybe a year and a half. It was a really easy site to work with because the native soil.
Really?
Yeah. As crazy as that sounds, when you build a golf course, like Scott says, you let the land speak to you. So we put the tees up on the high ground and the greens low. Or if there was a nice ridge, we put the green there and put the tees down here. And being all par threes, we didn't need to move a ton of dirt. And so Mike Reardon from Reardon Construction, they were our shapers, and it really came together super fast. So a year ago, this was all dirt, and now it's what you play on.
So as we were golfing, I was thinking of what questions could I ask, and one of them is, I mean, I knew it was a gravel pit, but what does it take to get grass to grow here? And then you've got so many water features as well. It's just crazy.
Yeah, the water features, interestingly, there's aerial photography back from the 1920s that shows this site holding water already.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so we didn't make that. I mean, that was here.
You're kidding.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So we use those ponds to pull our irrigation out, and then our waterfall feature right behind us that helps fill the ponds so that we recycle the water.
I didn't know what your answer was going to be to that question. I am shocked to hear that there was water here.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So what can you tell? We all know it's a par 3, although when I was golfing, it was not. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the features that are out here and some of the holes itself? I mean, you know it more than I do, certainly, but it was challenging.
Yeah, we built really big greens, but the greens have a lot of undulations and stuff to them.
Yeah.
But we've got 13 holes. They range from 60 to 200 yards, and they play around this gravel pit. And but yeah, like you said, it's not a site that people hear about a par 3 course, and generally they don't think about what we did here. So.
Definitely true.
Yeah.
In that concept. I was surprised at so we had a cart. I'm no shame in that.
Yeah, no, we bought carts for that very reason. Like, we want people. This is all about having fun out here.
And we certainly did. We were very surprised. I was, at least anyway, that I was grateful that the carts had brakes.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the declines in the path is crazy.
Yeah, for being a really, it's only on 46 acres is what we developed here.
Man.
But there's some great big hills, and you know,
Yes.
as you saw. So yeah, we bought gas cars so that they had the power to go up and down
and it's
the
needed.
ridges. Yeah.
It truly is needed. I don't know what hole it was, but you guys have a tree out there. On what hole is that?
That's the fifth green. We only had about 9 trees out on the property, so we didn't want to cut any down. So we built the green around the tree. So that's one of the strategies: is do you go over the tree, try to go around the tree.
Yeah, it was definitely a talk when
Yeah.
we were at the tee box. Like, what do we do?
Exactly.
Let's talk a little bit about, you guys have a putting green that's kind of unique
Yeah.
as well.
So we built a 13-hole putting course. We kind of got on the 13 theme.
Yeah, why? What's that about?
It really came about that's how much what fit into the land. So I was talking to Scott, and I was like, should we make a couple longer holes and be a 9, or you know, should we ask Nate for some more land and try to get 18 out of it? And we decided that a lot of golfers say when they get done with 9, I'd like to play a little more, but I don't necessarily want to play a whole 18.
Yeah.
And so 13 sort of came about for that. And then the other thing is just about time, and maybe playing for about 2 hours or 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. So it doesn't take all day. We get a lot of our golfers that come over after they've played at the Classic or the Legacy or the
Sure.
Pines or the
Sure.
Deacon's Lodge or something like that, and they want to play more golf, but they don't want to spend another 4.5 hours. And we also get a lot of people like your family that day that just came out to have some fun.
Yeah.
And but not commit a whole day to golf. So
It would have taken us a lot longer. We ended up about halfway through kind of making up our own rules, and we did like a hybrid best ball, just because I think we were spending so much time looking for our golf balls because we were so bad at it. We had so much fun though, honestly. It was just really cool.
So along those lines, that's what also introduced the putting course into it, and we wanted to give people something that would add to their experience. So when you come play golf at the gravel pit, you can play the 13-hole par 3 course as well as the 13-hole putting course. And people can also just come out to the gravel pit and play the putting course. It's got lights on it, so if people want to play
Right.
at night, we flip the lights on, and there's a drink stand on every tee box. So if you're having a beverage, you can come out and enjoy that. And you know, obviously, we don't want you to have to put your drink on the ground, so we've
Right.
got drink holders.
I think you guys nailed it. You guys have it all figured out.
Oh, we don't have it all figured out. We want people to come out and have fun. I mean, this is not formal. It's a good golf course. So serious players have been enjoying that. But we want groups to come out and enjoy their friends and their family, and
Yeah.
and then sitting on this deck. I mean, we've
Right.
had people, you know, they're yelling down the hill, great shot. We've watched people make holes in one. I mean, it's really kind of a nice spot. And you know, we also we cater to non-golfers too. I mean, we've got live music every other Friday.
Right.
We've got a little area that we can play beanbags on, or bocce ball. We've got an event space that if somebody wanted to have a wedding or an outdoor function, you know, we can do that. So just trying to, you know, just bring community together, and that's why.
In a fun and casual
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I love it. I remember when we got here, you were talking to us about the patio. You know, we were welcome to sit out here before or after, whatever we wanted to do. And I just kind of thought, God, this is really cool because you can see all the holes. But then when I started playing, I had a different thought process. I thought, great. Now if we got someone on the patio, they're watching us, then I felt a little pressure.
Yeah. Well, we're not. We're all about no pressure here. It's interesting. It's interesting because people think that people are watching them like specifically.
Yeah.
But it's so much more just the general activity that people are out there. So it's
Yeah.
we keep talking about being like Disney though, and you know, selling people a video after their game. You know, like when you go down the flume or whatever, and they
Yeah.
show you the shot.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, here's you hitting the ball in the water on number 6 or whatever. But
That's a great idea,
we haven't-
honestly.
we haven't quite gotten there
You
yet.
catch some pretty funny faces, I imagine,
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
that. Okay, well, let's talk a little about, you guys have Pro Shop?
Yeah, we got a small golf shop. We offer, golf balls, hats, clothing.
General gear.
Yeah, exactly. General gear. And we've also got a full bar, soda, water, Gatorade, liquor, beer, seltzers, all that kind of stuff. And we got a small food service. We do kind of golf fare. We do pizzas hot dogs and sandwiches and things like that.
And people can come here to sit on the patio if
Oh,
they wanted to.
absolutely.
You don't have to be golfing.
No, we're open to the
Come out and
public,
enjoy
and
it.
a lot of people have been doing that. It's been interesting to watch some of the groups. We had 2 golfers the other day that were on number 12, and they called their friends, and so these 4 people walk up and sit down on the patio, and the golfers join them at the end of their game. And after about an hour, the 2 golfers leave, and their 4 buddies
Stayed.
they must have sat here for 2.5 hours just enjoying the view, and which was awesome. I mean, it's like that's why
Right.
we did it.
Yeah.
We've got fire pits on the deck here, so if it gets cold in the evening, we flip those on, and it's just a peaceful setting.
It truly is. I mean, it is just gorgeous sitting out here. And who would have ever thought that you would be saying that when you're looking over a gravel pit?
Yeah,
It's
believe
cool.
me. Yeah, when we came over and we were laying or pulling in the irrigation and things last summer,
Yeah.
it was a dry, hot place, and so
Dusty.
to have water, oh, so dusty, and to have water and the clubhouse got air conditioning, so when it gets hot.
Right.
We got a couple different patios. You can look in each direction, so it's been kind of interesting as the wind blows up here to watch people move around the building, to kind of which side is like the calm side of the
Where
day.
to be at that moment.
Yeah.
All right. Gosh, I don't know what else I can ask you about this place. I just really want everybody to understand that this is truly unique. Are there any other golf courses like this?
Not very many. There's a few in the country. No other ones really in Minnesota that do 13 par 3s. Bandon Dunes out in Oregon and Sand Valley in central Wisconsin have courses that are like this, and that's sort of where we got
Yeah.
the inspiration for it. The Cradle at Pinehurst. So it's becoming a little bit of a trend at some major golf facilities. But we're an independent company. We just
Yeah.
wanted to complement the great golf that's in the area already. I don't know that people are going to come to Brainerd necessarily to play the gravel pit, but we'd like them to play at the other golf courses.
Sure.
And then come on over here and have some fun, either before they play as a warm-up or after they play with
Yeah.
a group to kind of cool down a little bit.
I can certainly appreciate that because golfers are golfers, right? They're going to want to hit all the courses. But I think that there's a niche here that people really are interested in it, and they want to know. In fact, I had a gentleman in my office yesterday. He came in for tourism information, mentioned that he was a golfer, and I said, well, I happen to know of this
Thank you.
new
That's
place.
awesome.
He was so intrigued. I mean, I gave him your card. He was asking me all sorts of questions, so thankfully I could answer some of them because I had
Yeah.
been here and I kind of got the idea of what happens here. But man, he was just full of questions and he was really, really interested in it. So I think that people might come here to golf.
I hope so. And Holly, that's the thing, is that this isn't, we call it the gravel pit experience kind of for a reason.
Yeah.
And that it's just got a lot more going on than maybe it sounds. 13 par 3s, I was kind of like, oh, that could be cool. But then I got to the site and I was like, holy cow, this has got way more going on than just a flat little par 3 golf course.
Yeah.
So that's why we, invite people to come on out, check it out. It's really a visual deal. We left the sides of the gravel pit. There won't be, it's not manicured. I mean, we're not trying to be fancy.
That's where I
we
lost
wanna
my
be
golf
fun.
balls.
I know, right? We were looking for that. When we get done with the interview here, I'm going to continue the search. But no, it's just really, it's all about people having fun together
Love it.
That's. But I appreciate you coming out and sharing the word, spreading the word
Absolutely.
for us.
I think you summed it up really nicely. I think that's definitely one more way of how you can love Brainerd like a local, and we will see you guys with your golf clubs at the Gravel Pit Golf Course.